Tracking my trades is a non-negotiable. It keeps me unemotional. It keeps me on track with my goals and my targets that I have. And most importantly, it helps me decide how to manage positions. Let me show you. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day today. Every single person that comments down below is going to get our AI prompts for option sellers. If you want that full prompt list, just drop a comment down below. While you're down there, do me a big favor, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Guys, today I have a really good one for you. Probably one of the more important videos that I will actually make on this channel. So make sure you hit the like button so we can reach as many people as we can. But that is tracking your trades, right? And kind of going a lot more in depth with our live options portfolio that we have here on the channel, how I track it, how do I know when to roll, how do I know when to close early, right? All of that is going to be covered in today's video. Let's go over the shoulder. So as you guys know, we started this account with just at $5,000. I believe our first feature on the of this was the last week, and we'll go over some of the positions that we've done already. You can see we have a SoFi 17 call expiring on July 18th, and we also have a really terrible fat finger cash secured put on Campbell's Soup. Oh my gosh, probably the lowest premium I've ever gotten for an options trade of $4.72. Let's get an amen in the comments, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. Some of you guys that have been following along, and make sure you follow along daily. I'm kind of tracking my journey through all this with this $5,000 account. So let's kind of take a step back and walk through this entire thing on how to track it. So first and foremost, there's two trackers that you're going to need to grab yourself right now. And guess what? Guess what? They are free, right? Actually, you know what the cost is, right? Drop a comment and hit the like button and subscribe, right? That's the cost. But in all seriousness, guys, these trackers are completely free for you. This is my cash secured put calculator, and this is my covered call calculator. If you want those, they're free inside our Facebook group. Join us. The link's in the description. Introduce yourself, vibe out. It's such a fun group of individuals in there. So those are the first thing you need, right? What are these going to allow you to understand? Well, number one, it's going to tell you what your return and your ROI on collaterals are going to be, and if a trade makes sense for your specific risk profile. You're going to hear me constantly say that. My risk profile, your risk profile, your grandmom's risk profile, right? They're all different, right? Some of you are going after, 5-10% ROI stuff. For me, that's too risky for my blood. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore, right? For me, I like to be in that 1 to 3% usually. That's where I like to be, right? But for some of you, maybe you even want less, right? Maybe you're like you're retired and you're just going for like 0.5 or doing like a weekly spy wheel or something. We all have different goals, right? So you got to figure that out for yourself, okay? But with that said, when you put your premium in here and your collateral, for example, this one, let's say it's like a $10 stock, you're wrapping up $1,000, right? It'll give you your return. If that makes sense to you, fantastic. I always like to look at my annual return, my annual premium. Obviously, there's a lot of buying to closing that we do. We don't let everything necessarily go all the way out to expiration, but I like to see the annual return to help me manage the trade. More on that in a little bit. So let's just do this example of our SoFi trade, right? So if I scroll down a little bit, right, you'll see on the 25th, I opened up a covered call, right, for SoFi shares. I bought those shares originally for $16.09. You could see that on your screen. I went out there and I'm doing a buy right strategy. I was like, I just want to get into SoFi. I had a feeling that I was going to have a run, and it did have a run, but nice to see that pullback. Let's get them amens going. I'm going to keep saying every video, let's keep pulling back. I have a $16.09 per share, right? So I go over to my calculator, right? My strike price that I had originally for my covered call was $16.50. That's me saying I'm willing to sell my 100 shares, right, on the 3rd for $16.50 that I bought at $16.09. I had a single contract. My total premium that I collected at that time was $33.32. My collateral, right, is 100 times whatever my cost basis is. So $16.09 a share is $16.09. I eventually rolled this position. I had to buy to close that position for $43. That basically means like, hey, Pete, I lost $10 right there, just about $9.71. Oh no, I lost money, right? But you could see I rolled this position, so I bought to close it, and I gave back right, some of that premium, a little bit more. I gave back all of my premium plus an additional, right, $9.71. So I'm in the hole $9.71. But let's see the next trade I open. All right, I did this roll the next day because, as we have seen this past week, SoFi has been on an absolute tear. So what did I do? I selected the expiration date, the 18th, right, and we could see that here. I got my $17 call right there. Right now, my strike price, I moved up. I rolled up my strike price from 16.50 to 17. Why did I do that? Well, I wanted to capture more of my appreciation profit. Let me show you real quick. Right, I'm gonna just take that out. Right, let's say, actually, this is what I want to do. I want to go to this original trade right here. Right, and my max appreciation profit here was about $50, right? Just about $50 here of appreciation profit. My max return was 5.18 if I ended up getting a sign at 16.50 on the 3rd. Funny enough, tomorrow, right? That would have been my max profit. I don't mind that return, honestly, on a trade. That is in a single, basically a week, right? I am 100% happy getting something like that. Now, obviously, we didn't know that SoFi was going to have such a massive run up, and it did. It really had a massive run. So for me, I was like, I want to lock up a little bit more appreciation profit if I'm going to sell my shares, because I'm very bullish on SoFi long term, right? So let's kind of put the trade how it is. So what I did is I rolled this out, right, to the strike price 17, right? That captures me just about $100 extra of appreciation sale if I have to sell my shares on the 18th. Right now, my collateral is still saying the same at 1609. I did collect a little bit of credit, a little bit more premium when I did this trade and rolled it to 17. I collected an additional $15 of premium. Right? Should you do this? Should you not? Well, this is where you have to start. This is where experience comes in, management comes in, right? I can't stress it enough how important it is to just get in the game and start putting yourself in weird situations, because selling options high level, it sounds so simple, it sounds so easy, but there is a lot of situations, and management is going to be your most important. Building confidence and being able to execute on your plan is going to make you a great trader. I don't actually want to even say you're a trader. I don't consider myself a trader. I'm not a full-time trader by any stretch of the imagination. I'm more of like a short-term investor. But with that said, you could see I paid $9.71 to credit, so I obviously want to make that back. Like when I'm rolling, I want to get some sort of credit back and a little bit of premium, right? So right here, right, I made up for my little bit of loss that I hear of 971 plus, right, basically $5. I made a $5 of total premium on that trade. However, right, my appreciation profit is higher now. Do I think that my shares are going to be sold? Yes. Yes, I do. That's why I took this role. That was part of my plan. My plan was, hey, I think SoFi is going to have a big run up, right? And I believe on the 18th, it will be trading at 17 or over, right? So if I believe that to be true, I do want to lock in gains here. I do actually want to sell my shares, right? So my total net here will be 114, right, for a 7% return. I would get a 7% instead of, right, let's say if I did this trade, moved out this net right here, and actually, one sec, let me move that, and my max here was 50. My total return here would be 5%. I basically got about 2% more for waiting a little over more than a week still. For me, I was like, you know what? I'll take that trade. I'll take that trade because I really do believe SoFi will be at $17. And if it's not a problem. I want SoFi to tank more in order for me to do more cash secured puts and get assigned and do more covered calls, right? Or just do some more buy rights. But for me, getting that extra 2% made sense in that specific situation and in that specific trade, right? When you are doing this, you want to do exactly what I'm doing on my screen right now. You want to plug in all the possible variables for yourself to see if it makes sense. I don't know about you. I need things very visually and I need things very simply put to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to understand them, right? So for me, I will map things out like this. Like before I took this roll, right? Before I did this first trade and marked it as rolled, I mapped this entire right? I mapped this entire row out already, right? I mapped it all out as if it was true, and I took the trade and I potentially got to the expiration and the result, the outcome actually happened, right? You want to map out the outcomes for yourself. So What's the other outcome if this does not happen, right? Because I mapped that out as well for me. Well, in that case, that means if this outcome is not true, that means SoFi is trading under $17 on the 18th. That would mean that my shares would not be sold, right? This would be expired worthless. I would literally put expired here, right? And then for the following week or month, depending on the situation, again, just depends on the situation, I will then do another covered call on my SoFi shares. If you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because I plan to showcase this portfolio here a lot more on the channel. We started with $5,000, so we're going to see where that takes us. We'll probably just throwing it in a dumpster fire, okay? But all jokes aside, make sure to drop a comment down below, guys. I'm going to send you my AI prompts for option sellers. This is a fantastic tool to use the power of AI, especially for research purposes. It is so helpful. So make sure you drop that comment. Also, if you're somebody that wants to join an amazing community of option sellers that do this day in and day out, share each other tips, trade ideas, all the trainings and templates and pretty much everything you need, right? Click the first link in the description of today's video. It's about a 5 to 10 minute video that talks about our ARC option strategy, how it fits into your lifestyle. Really, I'm not somebody that trades more than 30 minutes a week, even like 15 minutes a week, right? And I believe this strategy can fit into anybody's lifestyle that's willing to learn it. So click the first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.